Hello, everybody. You were very welcome to Successful Perspectives. Successful Perspectives, of course, is when we deep dive into the topic of leadership of one of our members from our very selective and influential network, Boardroom by EMIR. And for this chat, I'm very happy to be joined by Mohamad Turk, a partner and head for global industrial practice covering the Middle East and North Africa for Heidrick Struggles. Mohamad, it's great to have you on Successful Perspectives, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you for having me.
So, Mohamad, Heidrick Struggles. So, it's the premier provider of executive search, corporate culture, and leadership consulting services, and also listed on the NASDAQ with more than 50 offices globally. And as I've gotten to know you over the years on your genuinely very impressive journey, I've been looking forward to this conversation to learn more about your leadership style and principles. So let's start by going back a bit in time and thinking about your leadership journey when you were younger, say when you were starting out. Was there an event or a moment when you were younger that, looking back on now, had a significant impact on the kind of leader you are today?
Quite a deep one, Frank. It's a pleasure again. I can think of one pivotal moment in my youth was my decision to study computer science. At the time, and if I'm being honest, it wasn't a grand plan. Like, it stemmed from pure passion for competitive video gamings. I used to play a lot of FIFA and still am. So I enrolled in one of the top schools in Beirut. So it's almost immediately after joining, I was confronted with challenges that tested me in ways that honestly I hadn't expected. So imagine balancing 50 hours of work, weeks on top of classes, assignments, and endless hours of studying. So it was hard. I had to learn to stay focused under pressure, to think differently, and I passed. But in retrospect, what I gained was from that specific experience more than just a degree, So it was here that I discovered a passion for connecting with people, understanding their unique journeys, and taught me the importance of perseverance and a relentless commitment to always learning, which became the foundation of who I am as a leader. So these qualities didn't just shape my journey, they become my guiding principles, if I may say.
Yeah.
Today, they fuel my approach to leadership and they allow me to see problems as opportunities and an approach to challenge things with a strategic mindset where people would feel supported and inspired. I share this, Frank, because sometimes the path that shapes us isn't one we plan, right? So it's one that tests our patience and our passion and builds up our faith in ourselves because of the experiences we go through. And in these moments, when we push beyond what we thought was possible, that we discover the true self-worth and abilities of our individuals.
No, I love it. It's a great answer.
Uh,
And on that journey, what preconceptions did you have about being a top leader in an organization before you took on the role?
I think it's a common thing for people to have the thought that becoming a leader in an organization is the pinnacle thing that you would have. It's like the end goal. But once you are there, you would quickly realize that it's just actually the beginning, and it's not about the title or the authority you get with it. You would learn that you're only as effective as a team, um, as the team you build around you. So they should even be better than you in many ways. So your role would shift and you become less more about directing and more about aligning, inspiring, engaging people to help them achieve their potential. So the whole organization should be agile and deeply connected and sharing a common goal. And this is where everyone would be able to make strategy a reality, when they are aligned and when they are energized.
Oh, it's an excellent answer. It's a good reflection point. And I'm going to go back to something you said when on the first question that we talked about is in the question I'm going to ask you next, just as a preface, is like, what did you learn about yourself when you initially took on the role?
I think it's assuming a new responsibility in your career at any phase in your career is no one is going to be truly ready for it, unless you're inside the role. And the cornerstone of success is to step into the role with understanding that you know very little. It's kind of, Frank, a humbling experience, so that requires you to learn continuously. You need to learn about your team. You need to learn about them personally and professionally. You need to learn about their potential, the business, the clients, the market. And suddenly you find yourself becoming very curious and more encouraged to listen, and also adapt and grow alongside those who are growing with you. Because if they grow, it means that you're doing the right thing as a leader for an organization. So it's a journey of discovery, I think, that transforms not just your understanding of the role, but also, I would say, your approach to leadership.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask, like, were you ready right away? And I think you've answered that already, but did it take you time to get comfortable in the role?
There's always a transition phase, I would say, that accompanying that, and this reflection on how you learn about yourself, how you learn about the context of the organization, how you learn about the context of the team, whether in this role or the previous roles, is a journey. So and it's a beautiful journey that if you give attention to the right foundations of leadership in the context of organization, it will be a fun one.
Excellent. No, it's good. It's good reflection even for myself on my journey. And I've one question I want to ask around, like in your career to date, did you take any big risks in your career that paid off?
Yeah, absolutely. Clearly, so I'm here today. Before this role, I was also in a leadership role before that, and I can think of when I decided to exit my previous partnership. It wasn't an easy decision back then, but I was clear that if my values and my health are at stake and they should not be compromised, I'm out. So prioritizing these aspects allowed me to make a decision that ultimately paid off, because I'm quite happy being part of an organization that is well governed and well structured, that gets the best out of the people and knows how to keep them engaged and empowered as well.
No,
So
it's a really good point because at the time I'd imagine it's risk. It's perceived as risk, right? Because it's a big step, but you're
yeah,
aligning on the priorities, health, well-being, and then
yeah,
your values and your principles. Once you move and reflecting back, you know it was the right decision, but in that moment, it's a big risk because you don't know the unknown and what the next step will potentially unfold. So it's a really really good answer because I think a lot of people are potentially in that space. Not that everyone is, but as you make that move, in hindsight, reflecting back, in your case, it's been obviously a beautiful journey and a worthwhile one as well. So I have one more question, Mohamad, just to ask you is then, like in the modern world, how do leaders build a company culture in the modern and increasingly remote workplace?
I think we're seeing that because we're in the leadership advisories business, and we're seeing an increase in organizations in the Middle East and North Africa, where they start to invest more. So investment in teams is key for fostering an environment of alignment, empowerment, and motivation. And with these at hand, you would feel that the teams would feel actually valued, engaged, and inspire them to do their best, regardless of where they are. I think that, along with communication, which would allow for transparency, what's working, what's not working, they feel that they are part of a mission and a vision and a path that they want to achieve together. So this also creates an opportunity when communicating more and more is to also look at areas for development, because no one is perfect and nothing is perfect. But when you actually have the tempo of the organization set, and in a way where the members are excited to work with you and not for you, so it's about a partnership. I think they'll go above and beyond driving success for any organization, whether they are here or anywhere else on working from home or from another country. So it doesn't matter. The result will be the same.
Excellent. This is excellent, Mohamad. I love these questions and your answers, as they're things I reflect on quite a lot, even on my leadership journey. And you've given genuinely like great food for thought there. So, Mohamad, thank you for your time. Thank you for being on Successful Perspectives. It's been a huge pleasure having you. And that was excellent and very interesting insights.